This is a screencast for lesson 2.4. As you can see, this lesson is a one-day lesson, so it's very short in comparison to many of the lessons that we've had before. The objective for this lesson is I can describe the differences between and uses of expository and persuasive writing. So basically the teacher starts off this lesson by making the connection between expository and persuasive writing and talking about how the first unit really emphasized persuasive writing and trying to get someone convinced to take on a different point of view. And then in the second unit, we really focused on expository writing, which is meant to inform and explain a specific topic. And I apologize if you hear my dog snoring in the background. And so after you do that, you're going to give students the opportunity to brainstorm using a Venn diagram chart. So you're going to have students write down all of the characteristics they can think of persuasive writing, the same for expository writing, and then answering this question. After students have done this independently, they should get with a partner that they've never worked with before, and you will instruct one person, person A, to talk about what they wrote in persuasive writing for persuasive writing. The other person should add anything that they may have missed. The other person will talk about what they wrote for expository writing, again, adding anything that they may have missed. And then they'll both share their answers for what they wrote in the middle and then the answer to this question. The teacher can then kind of bring the class back together and hear some of the overarching trends to make sure that the whole class is on the right track and has, kind of the correct answers in this. Next, you are going to instruct students to turn to this sample expository essay. As a class, you're going to read this. I would encourage the teachers to read it to the class. This is definitely a time for direct instruction. As the teacher is reading this, they should annotate this, and then students should be expected to annotate the same way that the teacher does. This is more of a note-taking template for students. So as you read it, you should show students where the introduction paragraph is and then annotate how the author hooked the audience, built background, and then had a thesis statement. And students should do the exact same kind of annotation that you choose to do. For the body paragraphs, you're going to show them what the topic sentence is and what the supporting details are. And then in the concluding, you're going to show how they restated their thesis topic and then what kind of closing strategy that they used. Again, students may have already done this, something similar in their freshman English class, so this is a place to make the connections really strong, but it should be more teacher-centered than student-centered. It's okay to have students adding their thoughts, but making sure that this is a teaching moment for them. And then to close up the lesson, you do an activity called 3-2-1, where students answer these 3 questions on like a half sheet of paper that they would turn in. What are 3 examples of times when someone would use expository writing? What are 2 examples of times when someone would use persuasive writing? And what is one sentence that describes the major difference between the two? So again, it's a very short lesson, very quick, and it's really just meant to make connections and reinforce some things that students may already know.